Hello and welcome everybody. This is Joan Medina and this is the weekly outlook. I'm gonna be checking gold and GJ, and let me start right away with gold. I just had this small scalp sale on gold. It was really nice. The setup was really simple. Maybe I can explain it really quick. As you can see, we had a rejection, and another confirmed rejection here at this zone. I was already bearish because we were coming bearish. And as this candle closed here, I did not even enter right away. By the way, I waited for this candle wick to be formed. The moment I had this formation and we came back to the candle opening, I entered here. Okay, so I did not enter right away. As we closed, I actually waited for this to form, and then as we were forming back, coming back to entry, I entered here, and there you go. That was the whole trade. Actually, I closed it here at the body closure, right there. It was 36 pips, so I guess it was here because I remember looking at the counter from Magic Keys. It was here. I took profits around here. TP1, this was a runner, and that was pretty much it. Could have let this open all the way down to 1980, 18, but it's okay. That's a good way to start the week, right? I already shared even the MetaTrader screenshot on my Instagram and Instagram and even the groups on Discord. So this is what I'm looking for. So gold, let's go to the monthly. Let's erase all of this. And as we can see, this is a massive rejection. The structure on the monthly is quite bullish, but we have like a rejection. We've been visited like all the top of the all-time high. And this is still bullish, but I am expecting a potential correction, right? Not based on the monthly necessarily, because the monthly we can see too much, but here we can start to see where we already had a formation of a correction. As we can see, we have a very big wick, which typically is what I call the intention wick, which means there's a really high probability that this week we actually visit down to 1900. Yeah, 1900 right here. And even down below, I think we might even see 1818, and who knows. But there's a really high likelihood that if we break this major support that we have right here, that we actually start to visit here 1910, which is a key level here, 1910. And here we can see 1900, like I mentioned right here. 1900 right here because the wicks, right? But if I look at the body closures, actually there's a really high probability we actually come down to 1890. Okay, so if I rebuild the drawings, there you go, you can see clearly. And also, as I always say, even though I don't trade necessarily trend lines, I do use them if they present themselves, and this one and this one presented, and it's being respected quite nicely. So I'm actually using those as a reference for the swing trades and the higher time frame. And as you can see, we had a visit down here on that daily candle that came up and closed here. This one came and grabbed liquidity, it seems, from here. This is still ranging, right? This is clearly ranging, but structure so far it's looking bearish. And now we would have to break below this strong support. If that ever happens, then we might actually visit, like I said, 1910. That would be next target, and next potential target 1900, and then 1890. Okay, but that would have to break. But that's my bias is bearish. Okay, on the higher time frame, even though we are kind of ranging, I'm more towards the bearish side than the bullish side. Now, my bias would change to bullish if we start to close above 1940, right? If we start to close above 1940, then I would start to, shift towards buys above here, this zone. This is 1938, but that's why I say 1940. Anything that starts to shift here, then I would be looking more for buys. Or if I start to see another strong formation of like a structures rejecting twice from the same zone and stuff like that. You can call it like a double bottom or whatever you want. If I start to see that, then maybe I change my bias again. But right now, I'm a little bit more bearish. We might see a rejection here because if this is a strong zone, and then we might see like another revisit up to the zone here to maybe grab more impulse to actually break. So we might see this break happening early in the week. Now, if we don't break, and this support holds, then we could expect, like I said, a visit up to here and even up to 1938, not necessarily 1940. But if we actually tap into 1940 but reject again, then that would be a stronger confirmation to actually break this by the end of the week or so and break down to here. Now, if this one holds after we tap down here. Now, if this holds and this one doesn't, this one being 1938, then we might have the break and continuation coming bullish. Fundamentally, I guess, makes sense that gold should be bullish, but yeah, technically it is bearish on the short term, so that's what it is. And now we're gonna go to GBPJPY, and yeah, there was a really clean and easy buy setup, and I missed it. I couldn't take it, but I saw it right away. It's okay. I got my gold sales. But look, this was a really nice clean buy. And if you go to the 15-minute, you're going to see it even better. Look at right here. So this is a key level here. This is 160-300. And we tapped into it and formed this support. And right there was the entry. So this one, you could have held TP around here, and this would have been a runner all the way up to here, which you can see there's a lot of momentum coming up. So this was a nice setup for buy entries on GBPJPY. I didn't take it, but yeah, it was clean. Like if you wanted a nice setup up to here, from here, yeah, that was it. And you could have left runner just up to here. I would have been taking profits. I wouldn't I never wait for the price to reach all the way up to the zone. I try to take profits like as early as possible, which that means, I mean, early nearby, right? Like this zone here, this is good enough for me. It would have been a 3R. Anyways, I just wanted to show you that there was a nice setup today. Now, my bias also, let's go to my bias is just bullish, quite bullish on GJ. Look, the weekly, the daily looks better. Yeah, daily, look at this. Nice support here at 159.600. Nice support here. You could actually, if you want, you can take it, take it up to the closure of the candle, of course. I just like the ranges too, to include them. So we form support, that's what matters, right? We had a previous support here, now support here on the daily structure, meaning that there's a lot of momentum to drive this. Look at this wick on the daily, and this is just the beginning of the week. We literally started the day, already created the wick is pushing up. So there's a really high probability that we actually not only reach by maybe tomorrow 161.100. So we are actually quite some pips away from that. As we break above here, which we are, there's a really high probability. I'm not gonna trade anymore, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to. This is 20 pips. Well, it's okay. It's just that not good. Like I would have to like scalp this one out if I wanted, but I'm not up to that. I'm gonna go to bed. But my point is, there's a really high probability that as we keep closing above here, pushing above here, we actually end up visiting by tomorrow this area here, and this is around 161.100, whatever, and we actually could keep pushing up to 161 point. This is like 400 or 370 by tomorrow or the day after that, because not necessarily has to be this one, the one breaking above it. So if this one is not the one breaking above it might happen later in the week. But my point is, I'm bullish, right? I'm bullish short term on GJ. Actually, it is bullish even long term, right? Long term and everything is bullish. So there's nothing screaming sales anywhere. Actually, everything is screaming buys at the moment, right? So keep your, like I always say, try to trade with the main bias, especially if you're learning how to trade. Try to trade with the main bias, with the higher time frame bias, and then as you get used to trading, and then as you become better, then you can counter trade and do whatever you want. But for the moment, if you're learning, try to keep it with the main bias. Right now, the main bias is quite bullish, clean, clear bullish, right? Structure on the 4 hours bullish, daily is bullish, even the weekly is bullish. So that would be my recommendation. Whatever you look for should have been buys, if anything, right? If I'm gonna be looking for anything now, it's gonna be buys. Before, I thought last week that we might have been breaking this below here. I was aiming that if we were to break this, I was about to catch this drop from here to here. It didn't happen, and there you go. Now we're bullish. Okay, how would I change my bias to sales or to bears? You can see it here. If we start to close back below 160.300, from here to here, we might have another push, bearish push. Not only that, but if we revisit this area for a third time, there's a high likelihood, high probability that this one would not hold a third visit, and it would actually break down to here, and who even knows. But for now, this is bullish. Bias maybe changes. Not necessarily bearish, still below here. I would maybe look for sales for this visit. My main bias would change definitely below this area here, 159.600. So I really hope that you like this weekly outlook. If you liked the outlook, give it a like, subscribe if you're new. And there you go. I'll see you. Remember, I am streaming in English on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays around 9 a.m. typically. So if you want to stream, I'll see you there. If not, then I'll see you next week. So have a great start of the week.